Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CarAlarm podcast. My name is Alex,
And I'm Gavin.
and we are back again consistently.
Yay!
We are going to review once again here on a weekly wrestling review Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live from the 29th and 30th of January 2018. Just to cap that sentence off.
Good job.
Now, you didn't get to see either one, correct?
Correct.
So we'll be going through this, blind Gavin, and I'll be explaining things and how they went down. Though I have to say, you picked a bad Raw to skip out on, because honestly, I think this is probably the best show they've had in months, several months. So
it seems to be a trend of theirs. They go up and down, up and down,
yeah,
up and
they
down,
do.
up and down.
So let's just get right into it. They have new logos, they have new graphics and everything for Monday Night Raw. The same structure for the Raw text itself.
Yeah.
It's just a little sleeker, and then there's nothing but white in the background, and now the colors are just white and red. Really minimalistic. It looks okay. I like it. I think I can easily get used to it. But I did like the other old stuff better.
Sounds a little interesting.
Yeah. It looks exactly like the WrestleMania 31, I think, theme where they had the big red play button.
Yeah.
It's like all of that, but everywhere on Monday Night Raw. So there you go. Stephanie McMahon opens the show and brings out Asuka, the winner of the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Asuka thanks the WWE and says that she will win the WWE Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. There's a ladybug on our table.
And I got really happy about it.
It's over here. On our microphone.
He's going to chill out for a while with us.
What an adventure. Sasha Banks interrupts Asuka. Sort of. She kind of finishes the sentence, but she says she was the only one ready for Asuka. And she's still ready for Asuka. And she challenges her to a fight. So Stephanie McMahon makes the match for later on in the night. And that ends the first segment of Raw.
I'm pretty sure I know who wins this.
So I don't have too many notes. The Raw segment's usually the most lengthy part of our weekly wrestling review, but it might not be this week because I didn't have that many notes because not that much happened in a good way. There wasn't really any bad stuff to talk about. It was just some long matches, some good matches. So first match is Braun Strowman versus Kane in a last man standing match to qualify to be in the Elimination Chamber, which is Raw's pay-per-view this year. I guess since SmackDown had it last year, it's fair to give it to Raw. They'll probably get Money in the Bank too.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So Braun Strowman and Kane just brawl around the arena. You know, the usual. Hit her on the barricade, go behind where the production is and everything. They end up on Monday Night Raw's commentary stage, and Braun Strowman flips the entire stage onto Kane.
Like
the little part where the table is, the little extension off the edge, he flips that onto Kane.
Well then.
However, the table was like, I think it looked like it was maybe 3 or 4 tables together, but they weren't WWE tables. They were like actual tables because it has to hold the table and the commentators up. So when he flipped it over, Kane was against it so much that it just went over, and there's no sides to the tables. They just have legs. Yeah. So just the cloth was on Kane. So the cloth made Kane lose a last man standing match, but it was still cool to see Strowman flip over a bunch of tables with a table.
Pretty awesome.
And the chair didn't fall either. So the chair just like one of the commentators' chair just like stayed there. It got caught. So there you go. Kurt Angle was mad about it backstage. Unreasonably, I think, considering it was a last man standing match.
Yeah.
He didn't take any action or anything. I just thought I'd bring it up. He was telling Strowman that he's causing too much ruckus and chaos. Yet Kurt Angle put him in a last man standing match. What a good idea if you don't want Braun Strowman to break stuff.
Yeah, if you don't want Braun Strowman to break people, put him in a last man standing match, and that's going to get you good results.
Yeah, put him in an I Quit match. Put him in an Iron Man match. Let's see how that goes. No disqualification. Next up, we have Elias versus Woken Matt Hardy, again to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Um, an average match, not bad, but definitely not good. It goes on for a little while before Bray Wyatt's little splash video that comes on before he enters and before he surprise attacks people. Plays distracting Matt Hardy, letting Elias get the win. And he is the second person to qualify for the Elimination Chamber tonight, meaning it's so far Braun Strowman and Elias. Presumably Brock Lesnar. I can't see why he wouldn't be in the Elimination Chamber. So it's Strowman, Lesnar, Elias so far.
That we know of.
Yeah, no, well, that's all there is yet. We're going to keep going. We got more, don't worry.
We don't exactly know if Lesnar's in the chamber yet.
That's true. That's fair. I can't imagine they would have it without him, but you never know. Maybe it'll be for no more contender shot at Mania. I would love to see Lesnar in the chamber, though. That'd be great.
I would too.
Next up, we have The Miz versus Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship. Roman getting his rematch. The Miz Taraj tries to interfere several times. This match was just The Miz versus Roman again. It was fine. It wasn't bad. Miz ends up winning with a roll-up thanks to a distraction by the Miz Taraj, keeping his Intercontinental Championship.
I'm glad.
Yeah, which I'm sure next week, if not the week after that, Roman will qualify for Elimination Chamber and fight in it, and maybe, I don't think he'll win, of course, because I think he's going to win at Mania against Lesnar, but I like to see him in the Elimination Chamber match.
Braun Strowman's going to kill him.
Braun Strowman's going to kill him? Why?
Because if Roman's in the Elimination Chamber,
oh,
that's Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns in a cell by themselves. Braun Strowman's going to kill him.
Well, they're not by themselves. They have 4 other guys in there with them.
Yeah, well, they can't run away.
No.
Or not that Braun would run away.
Slam them through every single chamber.
That would be intense to watch.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Revival versus Rhino and Heath Slater. Revival ends up winning with a Shatter Machine. Rhino and Heath Slater actually put up a good lengthy, I want to say maybe 8-10 minute match with the Revival.
Nice.
Which I don't think is a good thing for Slater and Rhino, rather than I think it's a bad thing for the Revival. Because they're really not treating the Revival as if they're any kind of worth.
Right.
They jobbed out to Anderson and Gallows on Raw 25, so. Next up, we have Sasha Banks versus Asuka, which was the best match of the night, in my opinion. Asuka ends up winning with an Asuka lock after a very, I want to say scary match for Sasha Banks, as usual with her great matches.
Yeah.
You're always scared that she just about died. She went for a suicide dive. Asuka kicked her in midair.
Oh, dear.
And she turned completely horizontal. I think her face slid across the little apron-tron that they have, and she just fell on the ground. And then,
so it's terrifying.
Yeah, and then Asuka went for a... Sasha Banks was on the apron, on the outside of the ring on the apron, standing on it. And Asuka went for her hip attack. Sasha Banks just laid down, and Asuka went right outside the ring, hit the apron, and fell down.
Oh,
so
dear.
Those are 2 scary spots, but a great match if you feel like going to watch one. That was definitely a good one. By far the best women's match on Raw in a long time.
Most definitely.
Next up, we have the Bar defending their tag team titles against Titus Worldwide. And of course they retain. It was a fine match. Again, not a squash match, surprisingly, just like Heath Slater and Rhino. It was a pretty decent match, all things considered.
Well, they have been kind of building up Titus Worldwide a little bit here recently. So
They have.
They got, what, 2 wins against the Bar?
I think just one, maybe a singles win.
No, they got I think that's it, but they got 2 wins over the Bar because the second one was from Jason Jordan.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I think you're right. Anyway, the last match of Raw, I think this is the quickest Raw segment we've ever had, is Finn Balor versus John Cena, again, for the Elimination Chamber qualifying.
This sounds like a good match.
It was a good match. Cena ended up hitting an AA after he too-sweeted the crowd, acting very heelish the entire match, really. Desperate, I want to say he seemed. It seemed like he was just, every time Balor would kick out or reverse him or do any kind of thing, John Cena would just get frustrated. He ended up leaving the ring at a couple times. Mm-hmm. So Very surprising to see that. Balor ends up kicking out of the AA, and later on, John Cena hits an AA from the second rope, just like he did with AJ Styles, and he ended up getting the 1-2-3. And he's also going to Elimination Chamber with Braun Strowman, Elias, and presumably Brock Lesnar. So there you go. Stack that Elimination Chamber up.
Someone's gonna die.
Except for Elias. Elias is the only one that doesn't seem like he belongs in that group.
Because John Cena and Brock hate each other. Roman and Braun hate each other. And Elias is just sitting here like
and Strowman and Lesnar.
Yeah, and then Strowman and Roman
if Joe wasn't injured,
Cena and Roman,
he should go in there.
Yeah, I wanted to say this in the last video.
Yeah, we didn't mention Samoa Joe at the Royal Rumble.
Samoa Joe was supposed to be in the Rumble, but then he tore like a thingy in his foot.
Yeah.
And now he can't even walk.
Yeah. Man, he was. How long was he back for? 2 months? A month?
Something like
that. So yeah. Well, that's all of Monday Night Raw. We have an Elimination Chamber set up. We have no more news on Ronda Rousey, and we have
that's all.
No news as to which championship Asuka chose either. So
maybe we don't know yet.
We don't.
Maybe she don't know yet.
I'm sure she doesn't. We'll go into SmackDown Live as Gaven plays with the Ladybug.
Look, I like ladybugs. They're nice.
Okay, this is SmackDown Live from January 30th, I believe.
Something like that.
Today's the 31st.
Yeah, so it would be the 30th.
Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura is introduced and says he will win the championship at Mania. Very plain promo by Nakamura. Of course, he has his little flair on it, but Kevin Owens interrupts alongside Sami Zayn, and they complain about the referee calling Owens the legal man at the Royal Rumble when the tag clearly wasn't hit, and that AJ pinned the wrong man. They say that they will be the ones Shinsuke will be facing at Mania instead of AJ Styles because they're going to get the championship from him. AJ Styles enters and says that he will face Nakamura at Mania and challenges Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to a tag match later on in the night. Of course, him teaming with Nakamura. That's basically it there. After the commercial break, Owens and Sami walk... Oh, excuse me. This is before the commercial break. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn walk away and refuse the match. But backstage, after the commercial break, Owens and Zayn ask Daniel Bryan to do something about the ref's call at the Royal Rumble and about their unjust treatment thus far. Bryan makes a tag team match for tonight, the one that AJ Styles proposed, and says that next week we will have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and the winner will face AJ Styles at Fastlane for the WWE Championship. Nice. Looks like Bryan has undone his heel turn, I guess. So, I guess we're not getting any more favoritism from Daniel Bryan.
I hope not.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I did too, but they have a point where they like driving things into the ground and they keep going until it's deader than a
I guess better end it before it gets to that point. But I don't think it was really close to that point. I mean, as long as they maybe, they're not I guess just let it die. We have a United States Championship #1 contenders match as a giant truck drives down my street. I'm not sure if that was picked up on the audio or not. We have a #1 contenders United States Championship Fatal 4-Way. Kofi Kingston, Jinder Mahal, Rusev, and Zack Ryder. The winner faces Bobby Roode for the title next week. I believe it's next week. And Rusev ended up tapping out Kofi Kingston with the Accolade.
Really?
To win, yeah. He went for I forget what he was, I think he went for like a German suplex or something. Kofi got out of it, and then he hit an Accolade. It was a good finish. A fine match. I don't think SmackDown was as good as Raw, but if you do feel like going back and watching Monday Night Raw, I think that was the one. Next up, we have the Usos out to just talk about how they've pretty much murdered every team they've ever faced. They list off every SmackDown Live team.
And then we get DIY.
No, we don't. They are currently in a feud because Tommaso Ciampa returned at the last takeover and broke a crutch over Gargano's back. So if they did debut on the main roster, it would be a surprise to everyone, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Including NXT fans.
yeah, so they name off every person they've beat the Usos, and basically they don't issue an open challenge to say, but they kind of say no tag team in WWE can beat them. And then the Bludgeon Brothers come out, but just walk right past them because they have a match against two local competitors. So I was hoping for an Authors of Pain debut, maybe, or Sanity to show up against the Usos, but
something like that.
I don't know. I didn't want the Bludgeon Brothers. I'm not a fan of them, to be honest with you.
They're fine. They're just a Bray Wyatt family.
I love Luke Harper so much. He's a wonderful, wonderful wrestler,
He
but
really is.
I'm not a fan of the Bludgeon Brothers. Partially, I think, because I want Harper to be successful in a singles run.
Which he has not been thus far.
Yeah.
I think he had an IC title run here a little
He did.
while back.
I think it was a couple years ago now, but he did have the Intercontinental Championship, so they at least recognized it for a second that he's as good as he is.
But then they just took that away.
Yeah. So the Bludgeon Brothers, of course, just bury the two local competitors in a matter of seconds.
You know, like Eric Rowan was at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah, let's look at some Bludgeon Brothers history with Eric Rowan losing to The Rock and John Cena in a second or two. Charlotte is out to talk about the Women's Royal Rumble and how she missed out on it, how much she wanted to be in that ring, wrestling all those legends and everything. She says she will be the champion at WrestleMania, and she doesn't know who she'll be standing in the ring to face, whether it's Rousey or Asuka. She talks about Ronda Rousey breaking the internet, which it didn't do, I don't think, but it was a cool moment. Before the Riot Squad interrupts, Ruby Riott calls Charlotte a cheap imitation of Ric Flair and says she won't even make it to WrestleMania if the Riot Squad has anything to say about it. Charlotte brawls with the squad before being beaten down by the three, eventually getting overpowered. When Carmella enters to cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase, however, she went for a dropkick on Charlotte, but hit the ref instead, knocking him out of the ring before he can call the match on. Instead of waiting for the ref to get up, because Charlotte was getting up, she rolled out of the ring, took her briefcase, and ran to the back, realizing it's not worth it because Charlotte might fight back. I thought that was a nice little tease. I really want Carmella to cash in that briefcase.
I do too.
At WrestleMania, I mean.
That would be awesome.
It would be. I know Seth did it a few years ago, but that was long enough now, and this is the first ever women's briefcase. Cashing in at Mania. Or second ever women's.
Cash it in at Mania and we'll be all good.
Yep. Next up, we have Ty Dillinger versus Baron Corbin. They just had an argument backstage leading up to this match with Daniel Bryan about Ty Dillinger's Royal Rumble deal. Corbin ends up beating him completely clean with the end of days. A fine match, I guess. Still, Ty Dillinger can't get a break.
Nope, and I doubt he will.
Send him back to NXT. He'll be champion there.
Yeah, he'll actually be worth something there.
Yep.
Well, he is worth something here if they do it right.
He's worth something to most of the fans. Slowly, he's becoming, I don't want to say unpopular, but forgotten because they won't do anything with him. He's being treated very poorly. So, next up we have the Fashion Police versus Shelton Gable,
Shelton Gable, that's a good idea.
Versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. They had a backstage segment where Fashion Police and the Ascension had a table with laptops on it answering Twitter questions when Gable and Benjamin came in and just wrecked the whole place, flipped the table over, and challenged them to a match. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, once again, I shouldn't say once again, but yeah, you know what? Fashion Police just can't catch a break either. Just like Ty Dillinger, except it's worse for them because they just get jobbed out everywhere they go.
Yep, which sucks because they're two really good wrestlers.
They are.
And for them to be constantly jobbed out, they're so entertaining. It's just.
And we don't even get fashion files anymore.
Which is the best thing about everything.
Next up, we have the main event of SmackDown Live. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. Now, early on in the match, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn begin arguing because Zayn gets thrown to the outside by Nakamura on the left side of the ring from the hard cam view, and Owens goes for a tag on the right side, and Sami's not there, so Owens is mad at him. He didn't see Sami get thrown out by Nakamura, so Sami Zayn doesn't understand why Owens is mad. They get heated at each other. Sami Zayn walks to the back and leaves Owens by himself. However, he re-enters a little bit later on while Kevin Owens is getting beat down to make the save, so he didn't lose the match. But very soon after, they begin arguing again, causing Zayn to just say, "Forget it, I'm out." And AJ Styles bumps Owens into him, hits Sami Zayn off the apron. Sami Zayn thinks Kevin Owens did it, and he just walks to the back, doesn't come back, and Nakamura and AJ beat Kevin Owens as you would in a handicap match.
Yep.
With those two. So that was SmackDown Live and Raw. Raw, I think, definitely was the better show.
Sounds better.
Especially with Asuka and Sasha Banks. There wasn't a women's match at all tonight on SmackDown. They had Carmella's thing, which was cool to see, but...
Nothing.
Yep.
This is it.
Now we can talk about 205 Live. Because they had the general manager address. So... Daniel Bryan came out. I didn't watch 205 Live this week like I said I would because I totally forgot about it. But I did catch the clips on YouTube. Daniel Bryan came out to introduce Rockstar Spud, if you remember him from Impact.
I do.
As, I think his name is something Maverick. I think Dave Maverick. Or I think Dave Maverick, I want to say, but I don't want to be wrong. So we're just going to call him Rockstar Spud. He is the general manager of 205 Live. He says he wants to make it a better place, and he wants to make 205 Live,
great again.
Yeah, well, not great again. Great for the first time, I guess. He says they will be holding a Cruiserweight Championship tournament all the way leading up to WrestleMania, where it will culminate for the title. Hopefully not on the pre-show.
It'll be on the pre-show.
It will definitely be on the pre-show.
We get a tournament.
Yay. And from what I've seen, I didn't watch it, but I think Tyler Bate, the winner of the United Kingdom Championship Tournament, is now on 205 Live. So
what's with the UK Championship?
Pete Dunne has it. He defends it every now and then on NXT, and I think he's allowed to wrestle independently other places. He's still under contract with WWE, I believe, but...
Just like Jericho.
Yep. Well, I don't think Jericho's under contract with WWE.
Maybe.
I don't believe he is.
Never know.
All right, well, yeah, that was Raw and SmackDown. There you go.
Not much to it.
No, but I think that's a good thing. Usually it's...
This week.
Yeah, usually the more stuff, because it's way easier to talk about the bad stuff than the good stuff, because the good stuff is just good. You enjoy it.
Is.
And all you can do is recommend it and give an opinion, but the bad stuff...
You can rant on for days.
Yeah.
Like Nia Jackson and Joe Amore.
Yep. I'm sorry, Nia Jackson who?
You know that guy who ran around on cocaine? I don't remember his name.
I don't know him.
Might be talking about Chris Benoit.
Who? I don't know him either. Alright, I think that's gonna do us for this episode. You can follow us on Twitter at CarAlarm Podcast.
And you can find our Facebook page, type in the little search bar at Sounding Car Alarm. You can find our page, give us a like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff.
Subscribe to us here on YouTube. And like our other videos and watch more if you would. We will be trying to upload a little more consistently. We are Car Alarm.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching.